Run, run as fast as you can. Can't catch me because I am the Gingerbread Man.
Hi, I'm Biff Naked, and you're watching Run With It.
Welcome to Run With It. On today's show, we have a conversation with the very colorful Tilman, better known as a Gingerbread Man. We also spoke with Tim Hopkins, the race director of this year's Sun Run. We also have our good, bad, and ugly segment, and a discussion with world-renowned Dr. Jack Taunton about his latest clinical study on running and injury prevention. So, let's run with it. Welcome, Dr. Taunton. So what is your role in the sex differences study?
In the gender study, I guess I'm the coordinator or the principal investigator of that study, although I work with a tremendous team with Maha and Michael Ryan, and so that they sort of pull it off. It's my job is to get the funding and work with Maha and Michael in terms of really formulating the proposal, working with them to get the ethics, and now once the study is started, I try to motivate. And my major role right now is, if there are anybody that's injured, out of the study, then I see those individuals so that I can give Maha a specific diagnosis, rather than it's just a foot problem, as occurs in many studies, that I can say, yes, this is, it's a second metatarsal stress fracture, or if it's a knee problem, I can say it's a patellar tendon problem, and what the cause, exploring with the patient exactly what the cause of it, the injuries are.
Justin, why did you take this running study?
Well, my dad's part of a running group, and when he told me about this study, I was pretty interested. I had a co-op job in research, so I thought it'd be cool to see what research, aside from an engineering field, in human kinesiology would be like. Yeah, and I thought it'd be a good way to get back into running, meet a bunch of new people.
So how is the study going so far?
Oh, well, we've had a few injuries, surprisingly, not that many. I've seen 5, and we are now finished week 7, and certainly Maha is brilliant in terms of motivating the individuals, ensuring that not only they come out, but that they complete the the weekly online survey as to how they're doing. A visual analog scale in terms of any pain they're having, any dysfunction, have they missed any trainings, sessions, and why, and that's where we find out if there is anything happening that is, impeding on their, their training, then that triggers Maha to get me to, to see these individuals.
So I'm the study manager. I'm the primary contact for the entire study. So my role is to just keep in touch with all the participants to monitor their injury rates and make sure that everyone's happy and healthy.
So who else is involved in the study?
So I work with 3 wonderful gentlemen. Dr. Michael Cole, who is my academic supervisor, and he's a sports medicine physician at the Alan McGavin Sports Medicine Center. Dr. Michael Ryan, who is a postdoc at Griffith University, and Dr. Jack Taunton. So he is, of course, we've all known Dr. Jack Taunton. He's also a co-founder of the Alan McGavin Sports Medicine Center and founder of the Sun Run and anything you can possibly imagine.
Right.
Yeah.
And is there an age group in the sex differences study?
Yes. So we do have certain criteria that you have to meet in order to participate in the study. You have to be between the ages of 19 and 50 originally, but we did make some concessions. So we have some wonderful runners who are above 50 that we wanted to include. So we have a 19 to 59 age range.
And what's the feedback been like?
Well, I've been getting this question a lot is, are you going to do another study soon? And the question, or the answer is yes, hopefully, but we don't really know. We would love to do one in the summer when it's a lot easier to find runners who are willing to run rather than in the Vancouver raining cold, but we love our runners for braving through and getting through the icy cold and wintry weather.
All of these studies that we've done before we did the study on with minimalistic shoes, and prior to that, a large training study with women training for their first half marathon, where we that Maha was very involved in, where we randomly assigned whether, if they've got a pronated foot, we wouldn't necessarily give you the appropriate shoe for you. We wanted to know if you had a neutral foot, what kind of a shoe could you tolerate? If you had a really high arch foot, was it only a curved lasted shoe that you could tolerate? Or if you were really a pronator, did you really need a motion control shoe? So we really, have, and with the other training studies we've done, the success of the study is, it's all well and good to come up with a good theory and outline the objectives and why we're doing it, but really the ultimate results come from the run leaders being there to ensure that the training sessions, happen the 3 to 4 times a week, that we have somebody that's coordinating to make sure that the training program that it's been designed and we've reviewed, and Michael Ryan primarily has designed the what the workout is for the day, as it would be, and but that's got to be carried out, and so Maha has to make sure that we have a group of outstanding run leaders, which we do. And that sometimes we have to modify the training. Like in the at Christmas time, when the trails were so snowy and slippery, that Maha and myself we're concerned that we don't want to see injuries from the environment rather than from running, so we had to cancel that session. And then, move them indoors. And I think that was week 6, something like that. And move them indoors, get them on a treadmill or get them on a bike or something like that.
Mm-hmm. And the feedback has been great from the participants. Yes. And
yeah, no, it has been very good. But really, the success of these studies is Maha, in terms of ensuring that the individuals are out there, that all the data comes in, because that's critical. And then at the end of the day, for the final, the final analysis, and then obviously the publication for it, and that's the exciting thing.
Well, I had been in a previous Nike study, and it was an awesome experience. I really actually joined that first study for the track workouts, because I thought it would be really just to see how to do track workouts. I run, and would be something that was really interesting to me. So it was awesome. Yeah. So.
What about yourself?
I joined because I kind of live around this area, and it's a great way to kind of learn new running routes that I haven't ran before, even though I live in this area. And it's a great way to meet people and see old friends, actually.
Yeah.
Running can be quite intensive, but there are some characters who make it quite colorful. None more colorful than my next guest, the Gingerbread Man.
Hello, 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 it's the Gingerbread Man. Look at that. Run, run as fast as you can. Can't catch me because I am the Gingerbread Man. How you doing?
Tilman, I love your gingerbread suit.
Thank you.
So what made you decide to run in costume?
Well, years ago, this would be 2008, I started running again, and I just sat down and decided, okay, if I'm going to start doing this again, how am I going to do it so that I can get more out of it for me? What am I going to bring to the race? Can I just bring myself and spandex shorts and shirt? I've done that. That's gone. I just needed to do a little bit more for me. So I decided, well, how can I inspire other people who are running behind me to run faster? And that is often the case. People are just trying to beat me at the finish line or keep up with me. And I hear that at the end of the race too. Wow, thank you for being there. There was no way I was going to be beaten by a gingerbread man or by a person in a gorilla suit. And that makes me feel good because I know that I've made an impact on somebody else behind me.
And it's, you know, races can be quite intimidating, and this helps other runners to relax.
It does, yeah. Certainly, there's a lot of people who take it way too seriously, and I've seen that a lot. People who take it seriously end up face down on the side of the road, half a kilometer in, and whereas they just relaxed a little bit and just enjoyed the run, then, you know, they're going to probably end up with a better result than they started out with, or thought they would end up with.
How do you run fast in costume?
Well, there's an interesting story about this costume. What can the costume teach you? Okay, so this costume here, I bought a year ago, and it was because my gorilla suit fell apart. And it was a half marathon that I was running in this one, and I forgot to cover my face up, and the chafing on my face was incredible in the suit. It wore off all the skin off my nose and skin off my forehead, and it took 3 months before the skin on my nose grew back. 3 months! And so I realized that after 2 kilometers there was a hot spot on my nose, and I was like, what is going on? And so I thought, okay, I'm just going to lean forward a little bit, keep the face piece off my face, and run like that. And so I thought, okay, so new style of running that way, it's not a new style, but that little forward lean must have just pitched me over a little bit and kept me more on the balls of my feet rather than on my mid-step. And I ended up doing a PB with that. And so I thought, okay, so what has happened here? And so first of all, you're leaning forward a little bit more, and my focus was more on the ground than on the horizon. That's the second lesson here too. I find now that when I'm looking at the horizon, it's like, oh, when will I get there? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? You know, and that starts the mind from going, oh my God, it's so much further, so much longer. So I focus down on the ground now and just get into my rhythm and run. And before you know it, you're already there at the horizon. It takes seconds to get there. And so if you take the visual denominator out of the equation, then it's just powering on as you would be without the gassing or the mind that starts to work against you oftentimes in a race.
So you train in costume too?
Yeah, I do. I don't train in costume, but I'll tell you, I train in layers.
In layers, okay.
Yeah, so the idea is to simulate the conditions that you'll be experiencing in a race. Okay? If I were to train in costume, if I were to run in this, in an event that isn't organized, or just run, I'd probably be picked up by the cops, or worse, I could create an accident. Yeah, from people just looking and say, wow, what's that? Bang. So, you know, you have to be responsible, right? And so I'll run in layers, put a couple of sweats on, gloves and toque, and then run. Now I'll be running in the hot sun in the summertime, also in toque and gloves. And people are like, that guy has got to be hot. Well, yes, you are hot, but you've trained your way up for that, and so it's irrelevant, really. Yes, you are hot. Your body is swimming in sweat in the layers you're wearing, but you've also trained up for that, and it's conditioning. And conditioning is very important. So if you ever think about you're going to want to run in suits, then pick something that is flexible, yeah, breathable. This one is not very breathable. And I'm covering my whole body up underneath, too, so I'm wearing sweats underneath. Can you imagine we're running a marathon with sweats on underneath a costume? Please. And then I got long sleeves on, and I'm wearing a latex mask. So latex is important. It really swims well on the skin for the face. So any kind of facial coverings, if you're going to use them, put something on like that and work your way. It's actually cooler than you think it is. You got a lot of wind coming through the suit. People have often thought, well, especially with the gorilla suit that I used to wear, is that you got to be hot in there. Well, yes, it is hot, but you've got a lot of wind coming through the suit too, and actually optically looks hotter from the outside than it is on the inside. So people think that you're dying. No, you're protecting yourself from the sun, and the sun is a major killer in a race too. So if you're being exposed and running, then you're going to be exposed to the elements. Might as well cut one of them off, the sun, and it's like running in the shade the whole way. Easy peasy. And the sweat that you've built on the inside is cooling as well. So I thought about it. And I said, well, what kind of a suit would work well there in that element? And I thought, well, okay, a gorilla suit, right? And so I bought a gorilla suit, and yeah, $300, but yeah, but what are you going to do? You know, it's there, and you've made your mind up for it, and you might as well do it, you know? And so I do have it with me.
Yeah, and I'd like to see it.
You would like to see it. Okay, so this is all that's left of the gorilla suit. It's had a few races behind it, several half marathons, and the dirt on here is still from a Spartan Beast in Sacramento last year in November. And so there's the headpiece, and I'll get you to try it on.
Oh, certainly.
There you go. So, there. And now you
How
put
can
the
you
gloves.
run this?
How can you run with this on? Now we'll get you in a glove. Okay.
I
So
don't
there's
look
one
brave.
glove. And then here, take the other glove.
Thank you.
There you go.
Run with it.
Run with it. Run with
Oh my
it.
goodness, this is, I can't imagine running in this. Like,
Yes, but you can see well through there.
yeah, you can. It's
And you can breathe well through there
amazing.
too.
I mean, how did you do?
I did well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like to experience a race in Pennsylvania, you know, running with the Amish. I think that would be really, really cool. And then last year there was a lady who in Philadelphia who decided to retrace Rocky's route through Philadelphia, Rocky Balboa, you know, Rocky 2. And that's now called to finish on the steps of the library like that as Rocky. That would be really, really cool. It's just a fun run now, but maybe in the next year or two it might be a little bit more organized, but that would definitely be a trip worthy of going to Philadelphia. This year, or actually in 2013, it was held on December the 7th, so it's a December race. And there are other races around that time too. This year I ran Seattle in December, and that was really cool. But yeah, I qualified for Boston at the Boundary Bay
Congratulations.
Marathon. It's a small little marathon. Great little run along the dike, mostly gravel, which is kind of tough to run in, but I wasn't even trying. I was just trying to see what it would be like to run a marathon in a smaller field. I do have the Sun Run coming up. There's other races too. I've got a couple of 10Ks, and then there's a bunch of half marathons I'll be running, and then I'll be running a couple of marathons in the fall. That's the way my circle of the year has started to evolve into. Smaller races at the beginning, half marathons through the second quarter, and marathons through the last quarter, and then it starts back over again. That's how it works. Yeah. So
people can catch you.
Well, yeah, sure. You know, they'll just say hi to me on the side of the road. You know, I really admire the cheering. There's lots of runners that also really admire the cheering at the side of the road too, and they've often run with me too, just for that experience. And so, yeah, everything positive about running in suits. I hope there's more people who attempt that. And what's the byline of this one? Run with it.
In our good, the bad, and ugly segment, now Tilman, you're going to remember this one, we're going to talk about chafing. Chafing happens when your skin is moist and rubs against your clothing. Now, to prevent this, you would use Vaseline or Body Glide to prevent chafing. Now, the good is to apply this so your skin won't rub against your clothing. You would apply it under your armpits, your inner thighs, or any sensitive areas. Now, the bad is that you didn't apply it and your skin is rubbed raw, and therefore it is uncomfortable. And the ugly, if you don't apply it, is that you're now bleeding. Every year, thousands of runners and walkers participate in Canada's largest 10K event, the Vancouver Sun Run. And Run With It is there to watch its development for 2014.
I'm the race director for the Sun Run, and I've been involved for the past 10 years in the organizing of the event.
And any memorable moments?
I think every year at the start line, seeing 45 to 50,000 plus runners every year, all coming together at 9 a.m. downtown Vancouver, and you just see so many energetic people. Year after year, it just amazes me to see that sight. It's really exciting when the gun goes off and the first elite runners leave. It's just amazing to watch the energy that's flowing, and it's just such a great downtown Vancouver event.
Yes, and the streets come alive as well. Like you have participants like walkers, runners, strollers.
Yeah, we've got wheelchair athletes, we've got elite runners, we've got local elite runners, we've then got walkers, everyday school teams, corporate teams. People just come out, whether they can run, walk, Nordic walkers, you name it. We encourage them all to come out and participate.
What are the benefits of joining the Sun Run in Training program?
Well, the in-training program is an excellent opportunity to either improve your running pace so you can learn to run faster, or it's great if you've never run before to come out and learn to run. We start with run-walk programs and just getting people up and active. Many people have gone through the training programs and have gone on to be leaders, gone on to run other events more than 10K, half marathons, marathons. So it enables people to learn a little bit about running, and then they can take it from there and really, become an athlete based around running activities. And we've seen it time and time again where people have really been introduced to the sport through the Vancouver Sun Run and then gone on to become, not world-class runners, but have personal bests year after year at the Sun Run and other longer distance events.
We do give tips, on the Doug's Walk Run program. That's every January. That was the first in the paper, the first year of our Sun Run, and it continues to be in the paper starting in January. And I think what we say to everybody, you don't have to, we have people who've never really exercised that much, but all of a sudden they said, I never thought I could walk a 10K. But they did it gradually, started, as you know, training. You just don't go out and do it. You have to have a plan. And so it's for everybody that can do it, and we also have in the Sun Run a walk-run program for the children, so they're learning at an early age. So I think it's just making up your mind, I've got to exercise and I've got to eat less. And once you start eating less, we share a lot of entree. We can't eat when we go out, like for example, in the States when we travel. I mean, that bowl is enough for pasta for 4. And we've cut back on a lot of the breads, and we have our fruits and vegetables and more seafood. And again, Sunday dinner is the treat day, or Thanksgiving dinner, or our family birthday. I mean, I pull out that Julia Child chocolate cake, and we have that treat and that, So it's
just
the balance.
Keeping everything on budget.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you can register for the run. You don't need to join an in-training program. And
No, registration is online right now. We register corporate teams, school teams. You can get a group of friends together and register, or you can register as an individual. You don't even have to be a runner. You can be a walker and come out and walk the course. We have many people that we call our striders that go out, and they'll take an hour and a half to 2 hours and just walk the course and just take their time and enjoy the music and the entertainment along the way. So it's got something for everything. The Sun Run is Canada's largest event. We've been going now. This is our 30th anniversary, and we're really excited once again to get all the people from Metro Vancouver out and right across BC and into Washington State. We get some runners, and it's just great. It's a great experience.
I mean, with the 30th anniversary, congratulations. Do you know what will happen? I know it's it's a work in process, right?
It's still a work in process right now. We're obviously got some ideas that we're passing through the different committees and our own executive, and we hope to celebrate with as many runners as we can on the start line on April 27th.
Thanks for watching, and keep those emails coming. Next month, we will be in conversation with Terry Lynn Williams-Davidson, an award-winning musician, accomplished lawyer, and manages the time to fit running into her busy lifestyle. And we'll have a continuing segment on the Sun Run. Until next time, run with it.